Ah, welcome to another fantastic episode of My Orgasmic Life. I'm your hostess with the mostest, Gaia Morrissette. And today's show, I'm going to talk about a whole bunch of woo-woo stuff. Okay, so I'm going to talk about healing. I'm going to talk about energy. I'm going to talk about sex magic. I'm going to talk about magic. I'm going to talk about my journey as a healer. So that's your content warning today. If you're like, oh man, I was looking for, crazy Gaia, then you might want to tune in to me next week. I'm sure I'll still be entertaining though. I was out. So today we're going to talk about healing and being a healer, but specifically healing through ejaculation and healing through orgasm. So I need to define those two terms so that we're all on the same page. So the first part of that is, let's talk about orgasm. So orgasm is the body's release after lots and lots of pleasure sensations have taken you've accumulation of sensations. So the more pleasure, your body builds and builds and builds, and then it has a release, and and that's an orgasm. And usually there's a lot of convulsing going on, but from an energetic standpoint, and the reason that I'm going to talk about from an energy standpoint is because we're going to talk about the benefits of using orgasm and ejaculation to do deep, profound, emotional, physical, psychological, and spiritual healing. Okay. So when we have an orgasm, and this is also for penis owners, vulva owners, and penis owners. Okay. So penis owners, there's a difference between orgasm and ejaculation. Vulva owners, there's a difference between orgasm and ejaculation. Okay. So they're two separate entities. Now, often these happen simultaneously, bang, bang. So it feels like we have both simultaneously, so therefore they're the same thing, but they're not. You can learn to master and separate both of them. Okay. All right. So orgasm draws energy in, and ejaculation releases energy out of the body. And that's ejaculation of a penis owner, and that goes the same with female ejaculation or vulva ejaculation. So now that we're on the same page of what those mean, let's talk about why it can be so profoundly healing. Actually, before we do that, I want to talk about how we can let go of shame. There has been a lot of internalized shame around ejaculation. Even the word ejaculation every time I say it, you might cringe a little bit. Your eyes might twitch a little bit. Your body might twitch a little bit. And because there's all this, I just call it, and again, content warning, swearing, always know that that's what's going to happen. We've been taught to believe there's a lot of shit around ejaculation. There's trauma, there's abuse, there's entitlement, it's bad, it's dirty, it's wrong. These are you're going to go blind, you shouldn't have it. When you're allowed to ejaculate, when you're not allowed to ejaculate, performance anxiety, like so much shit and shame and guilt and anger and unsatisfaction is all tied up into ejaculation. And so there's the first piece that needs to be healed in order to be able to use ejaculation for this powerful, amazing, magical way of releasing and letting go and healing deep shit in ourselves. We have to heal our relationship with ejaculate. So the first thing is let's use the word ejaculate. Ejaculate, ejaculate, ejaculate. Everybody say it with me. Ready? Ejaculate, ejaculate, ejaculate. Woo, ejaculation. Okay, let's empower ourselves. Let's take back the power. Take back the power. Actually, I want to tell you a funny story. Well, it's not really a funny story. It's kind of a sad story, but I'm going to tell you the story nonetheless. So years ago, I used to do a lot of in-person workshops. And one of my workshops was ejaculation mastery. And I was promoting, using, there was a certain platform that I was utilizing to promote to. And the woman who was the head of that was really okay with me teaching anal. She was okay with me teaching BDSM. She was all sorts of like really hardcore things she was good with me teaching. And then when I created this beautiful, beautiful in-person workshop called Ejaculation Mastery, which was really this empowering space, because I used the word ejaculation, and because that word was so triggering for her, she disowned me. She stopped talking to me. When she would see me, she turned the other direction. She stopped promoting any of my stuff. And it was really fascinating. This was like my first sort of realization that that word is so charged and there's so much shit attached to it. So that's why I use the word ejaculation as much as and as often as I can on a daily basis. All right. So if that word is a triggering word, I lovingly invite you to come hang out with me, come hire me. We can work through your healing. We can help heal and any of the trauma that's attached to that and release it. Okay. All right. So now let's just say we all love ejaculation and we feel really comfortable with it and we have a really healthy relationship with it. So we can now utilize it from a healing perspective. And again, that's harder than it seems. Boom-ching. Again, you don't actually need to be erect to ejaculate. So I just need to clarify that as well. So if there's still stuff there, please come see me and we can heal your stuff around it, okay? And this goes for vulva owners, penis owners, is for everybody. Now, this also applies to vulva ejaculation. Again, when we ejaculate, it's a beautiful mechanism that we can harness and utilize to release stuff out of our bodies when we move from a conscious intention from it. And when we're having orgasms where we're drawing in energy, we can allow ourselves to tap into life force, sex energy, chi, elemental energies, whatever resonates with you. But another source, external source in our world, we can draw in that energy into our body to replace what we've released. So ultimately, when we're using ejaculation, we also want to have orgasm if possible. So I'm just going to briefly share, in theory, how it works so that, if you're like, ooh, I want to try that, you can try it. And then I'm going to talk about me being a healer and how profound it is to come and have a healing session with me and how we can use ejaculation and orgasm to heal deep, deep trauma, deep, deep wounds, deep, deep ailments that are going on in your body. Okay. So I'll talk about that after I talk about how this kind of works. So you want to build your sexual arousal. Okay. So you're building it and you're waking up all of your body, like your whole body, not just your genitals. Okay. You're waking up all your body. And you want to go with intention. So before you even start, you want to figure out what is your intention? What is it that you want to heal? And let's start with something really simple, like some emotional release. Okay, let's start with that piece. So say you been having a lot of stress you've been angry, you've been sad, like you want to take one of the really big, oh, thanks for all the loves and the thumbs up. I really appreciate your guys' support and love. Okay, so where was I? Okay, so we'll just do something simple like with emotions, okay? So say there's like a lot of anger in your body, right? You're really angry about something or about someone, okay? So it's easy to picture. All you have to do is think about it and your body starts to feel the anger that's going on. Okay, now what you're gonna do is you're gonna be like, I am totally ready to let go of this. So you're going to let go. So what you're going to do is you're going to visualize all of that anger. Where is it living in your body? Okay. Is it living in your chest? Is it living in your jaw? Is it living in your elbow? Where is it living? So you're going to grab the anger. Okay. So you're going to visualize. So say I have an angry elbow. All right. So I'm going to grab the anger, and it really is helpful if you give it a color. Especially if you're not familiar with using energy or how energy moves or the intentions or any of that kind of stuff. Like this is all brand new to you. So we're making it pretty simple. So you're going to take the anger, you're going to give it a color, you know, red would be good. And then you're going to grab the red and you're going to move it through and you're going to bring it down all the way to rest at your genitals. Okay. And you're going to do that in your body as you're building up yourself to ejaculation. You're going to build all of that up by grabbing all of that anger that anywhere is in your body as you're building and you're building and you're building. Now, as you're building towards that ejaculation, you're going to keep that anger. You're going to keep moving it to your genitals, moving it to your genitals. And as you are ejaculating, you're going to release the ejaculate, but you're also going to scream and yell and swear all the things that you're releasing. So if I was releasing anger, just pure, I was just angry, I just wanted to let go anger out of my body, I would just be like, as I was ejaculating, I would be like, fuck you. Like, and I would just scream it and growl and be like, ah, and scream and release it as I was ejaculating. If it's something specific about a thing, like, someone betrayed me, for example, someone lied to me, and I'm angry about that. This would be a great opportunity for me to scream and release all of that anger about that thing. So I'd be like, fuck you for lying to me. I won't, no, I release that anger, fuck you. And as I ejaculate, I release it. Now, this is really, 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 really important. Before you do any of this kind of work, you must put a containment bubble, energetic containment bubble around you. So this is like magic and energy responsibility, okay? Especially if we're doing work or releasing anger and we're releasing stuff about a situation or about a person. We do not want that energy to be sent to that person, because that is shitty and not cool. And karma's a bitch. So trust me, you want to set up. So before you even start this whole process, entire process, you want to first create a containment field. And you can visualize this containment field as a bubble, okay? And in this bubble, only love and light may enter and only love and light may exit. Then you want to, again, set your intentions of what it is that you want to try to release with your ejaculate. Now, unless you are able to unless you've been able to master ejaculation separate from orgasm, it's going to happen simultaneously while you're learning how to do this. So don't worry about this. Don't worry about the orgasm piece and drawing in, and don't worry about all those other layers. Let's just focus on the ejaculation as the way to release things out of your body. And starting with emotions is a great way of practicing that. Then you can move to sickness. If your body's feeling sick, you can draw all that sickness into your genitals, and as you ejaculate, you can release that sickness. Now, it's really important, secondary or third thing, or whatever place this is. I'll come back to all your questions, guys, or people. I'm on a roll. Give me a sec, okay? So, where was I? Oh, brain fart. Oh, it's really important when you're using ejaculation as a healing or releasing tool that you do it alone. Like, you don't do it while you are in a sexual exchange with somebody else, because otherwise you're basically pulling all the stuff that's in you and putting it into another human being, which again is shitty and not cool. Okay, so you can mutually, ejaculate beside each other and release this stuff. If you want to do this as, bonding experience, you can have the other person help you in the release, and you can help the other person in their release. But it's really important that that's more advanced if you're going to have somebody else do it, because you might end up inadvertently, if they don't know how to protect themselves, they might end up taking in that stuff. So it's best to do this practice until you master it by yourself. Okay. Okay. So that's kind of like the baby interaction, the baby steps of how do you use ejaculation to release and do healing. So yes, so some of the questions I'm getting is, sometimes I ejaculate but don't feel the orgasm. Yes, because you may not have had an orgasm, because orgasm and ejaculation are two separate things. They can happen simultaneously, but it doesn't mean that they are not the same. And when you learn to differentiate them, you can feel the difference of an orgasm. And again, that orgasm draws in energy, the ejaculation releases energy. Okay, I think somebody was asking me about vulva ejaculation and what that's about. Okay, so it's called female ejaculation, but I don't want to be gender biased. So I'm going to say vulva ejaculation, because the ejaculation is coming from the vulva and the vagina. So in porn, you'll see all sorts of different, they call it squirting. See all sorts of different squirting. Some of it looks like pee, some of it looks like water, some of it's frothy, some of it's creamy, all this stuff. But the main thing when it comes to ejaculation, vagina ejaculation, is that the ejaculate comes out of the urethra. And it comes out of the urethra, and that's the source of it. And it's not, it's very watery. It might even have a tiny bit of urine in it, depending on what was in the urethra tract when the ejaculate was being released. But that's what the ejaculate. And in order for majority of vaginas to ejaculate, there's a pushing out that happens in order for the ejaculation, very similar to going pee. And it feels very similar to going pee. Okay, so now let's talk to me. Okay, so the person who's wanting to talk to me about sadness and horniness afterwards, that's a more complex answer. There's probably some emotional stuff, some shame stuff, some guilt stuff, all sorts of pieces, psychological stuff going on there, which is all great. and nothing wrong. But that needs to be, if you want to have more interaction, then you need to book a private time with me so that we can get to the root of that and how can we make that serve you better than it is currently. Okay. Okay. So let's talk about me as a healer. So a lot of yous may not know this about me because I really show up in the world most of the time as an educator, as a facilitator, as a trainer, around, conversations, sexuality, healing, trauma, these kinds of places. But I am an incredibly magical being and a profound healer. And in the work that I do with my clients, I'm always doing healing, whether it's through physical touch, whether it's through emotional healing, energetic healing, spiritual healing. I'm always doing this piece of let's heal the wounds so that we can live, so we can move from the place of victim and surviving to thriving. Now, one of the things that I do as a healer when I'm doing body work and hands-on healer is all sorts of different variations of reclaiming the body, healing the body, allowing the body to release what needs to be released, whether that's psychological trauma that's stuck in the body, physical ailments that are going on in the body, emotional stuff, spiritual stuff, past lifetime stuff. And so when I'm doing healing, hands-on healing, it's you get to lay there and I do all the work. You just get to go along and release and allow me to help move that through you. And so one of the treatments that I do is I do heal through ejaculation. I help my clients. First of all, they have to have a good relationship with their penis and their ejaculation and their vulva and all those kind of stuff. So if that doesn't already pre-exist, then, we'll do some work so that that gets healed. Once that's healed, then I would do the guided experience of healing, and 1 or 2 sessions, whatever it is done. That's it. That's all. It's healed. It's gone. We don't have to process it. We don't have to look at it. We don't have to do anything with it. It's done. So I wanted to let my audience know, who spend a lot of time with me, that I don't really talk about this aspect of who I am and what I do in the world. And so I wanted you guys to know that if you ever are ready to have a body work session, to have this profound healing experience with me, that you can hire me to do that. And it will change your life. It's like incredibly intense therapy in 1 or 2 sessions. And it's done. Okay. So how do you spend time with me so that you can have these healing experiences? Well, there's lots of ways to spend time with me. I do so many things. I got my podcast, I teach, I facilitate, I got courses, I got programs, I got all sorts of stuff going on. You can hire me for coaching. So the best way to enter the world of Gaia is to go to my website hub, and it's GaiaMorrissette.com. And that will enter you into the world of all things that are me and all the things and all the ways that I show up in the world. And you can find whatever one is calling to you as the way to spend time with me, the way that I can support you having an orgasmic life, you healing whatever you need to heal, you being the best version of yourself, you being full of living life to the fullest and loving all of who you are. Okay. So again, go visit GaiaMorrissette.com. That's the gateway. I'm kind of like a gateway drug. And if you're interested, I don't have my ejaculation healing sessions on any of my sites. So if that's something that you really want, then you want to send me an email and we can talk about logistics and details and make sure that that's a good fit for you. Okay. And you can email me at gaia@succulentliving.com. All right. Don't forget to support your hostess, which is me, by joining my Patreon, which you get awesome bonus content. And you also support my work showing up for you guys. All right. Have a juicy day. Mwah. And I can't wait to hear about everybody's adventures in using ejaculation as a new tool to release and heal. And just a quick note for everybody who knows the difference between ejaculation and orgasm. So if you want to try the orgasm part, so what I want you to do is ejaculate first, release the things, whatever that is that you're releasing. And then you're going to come back and build your sexual arousal, and you're going to bring in what it is that you want to replace the thing that you let go of. So if you let go of, say, anger, you know, maybe inner zen or inner peace is what you want to bring into your life. So as you're building that energy and you're building that orgasm experience, you're drawing in all of this energy. I want you to draw in the energy of whatever it is that you're calling into your body. So if it's zen and inner peace, bring in the zen and inner peace throughout your whole being. And as you have your orgasm, really draw that in and say, as you're actually orgasming, say, yes, I receive whatever blank it is. Okay, so that's how you're going to add the orgasm piece if you know how to separate the two. All right. Mwah. Till next week, have a juicy week of adventuring and exploration. Bye-bye.